this. It should be streaming. Okay, there it goes. Okay. Is there audio? There's audio. We go in here. And we are here. Stream health is a little low, but that is okay. Let's let people get here. We're going to talk about wet shaving and some other stuff. Okay, give me to stream. Sorry guys, just this is an important text with Dave. Yeah, we're going to I put this up on my locals group if people wanted me to do a stream about wet shaving and this hobby I've been on for, over a year now, and I thought no one would give a shit. You guys crowdsourced this, and I got like all these shaving soaps, and I thought, all right, this is just hello, Frank. And I thought this is just something that's for me, and no one cares. And then actually everyone's like, no, this is really interesting. Okay. And I'm like, I'm going to explain to you this whole process and why it's awesome. And I think it's good during these times to be kind to ourselves. It's good to have hobbies that distract ourselves, things you could do at home, things you could do online to contribute to your hobby. Self-care, this is a very Jordan Peterson thing, but I agree with it. And it's also fun. There's like this whole little community online, like with any of these stupid hobbies, but it's very positive. Thank you, Sam. Shitty. It's shitty. Yeah, Sam. And I've been so deep down this rabbit hole, you have no idea. I've got like 50 soaps waiting to try. That's how deep I've gone. Because I love when I explore a new scene to really be a good hipster and go down the nooks and crannies and so on and so forth. So this is my guide to wet shaving. I'm going to let people give a chance to get 100 people in here, and then we could start talking about it. I'm going to do another stream this weekend, I think Sunday, about Duncan Lemp. People super chatted me. I talked about this with Dave Smith when he was on my show, which is up now on YouTube. And I'm gonna keep that one up public. These I usually set to private, and I put it up on my locals so people can follow up. But that one I think is going to be. I'm supposed to get the search tonight. Yeah, Greg. Fragrances are a whole other episode. I took Greg to fragrance stores when we were in New York. We spent a fun day, and this is just a fun hobby that's been really, really rewarding to me. And to me, a hobby that every day makes your day better and is something to structure your day around and something that gives you a little bit of pleasure. I've mentioned this many times. People attack hedonism, which is the philosophy of Epicurus, because they think it's coke orgies. And really, it's like Martha Stewart. It's like, bakers make some nice tea and curl up with a book. That's hedonism. That's the philosophy of pleasure. So Williams shaving soap. I'm not doing a Williams shaving soap. So let me explain to you about what wet shaving is and how I went down this rabbit hole. I was going to talk about it the last time I was Rogan, and I'm sure it'll come up again the next time I'm on Rogan. I didn't have a chance to, when you're there, what I really enjoyed about the show, and it just clicked, and what I think doing now with these live. Oh, but the other thing I was going to tell you is I'm going to figure out how to have other people on these live streams to have it be more of a virtual hangout, because I've got a lot of friends from all over the country who you guys have heard of, because they're kind of a big deal, and I thought it'd be fun for you guys to sit in on a combo with us and help keep people not feel so alone, and that'll be a chance for you guys to kind of join in the conversation with the chat window. So that's I have it's not intuitive how to do with OBS, which is the program I use to stream to YouTube, so I have to watch a video, but I'm sure that's going to take 5 seconds. So that is the situation there. Okay, so let me tell you so the thing about wet shaving like with let's suppose you're into like fashion, right? If you're into fashion, you could be into pants, or you could be into suits, or you could be into cufflinks or ties or shoes, or like you got a cool sock collection. There's so many things that you can do. And with wet shaving, there's like a lot of different variables, and I haven't explored half of them. And one of them is like different types of razors. Okay, there's the straight. There's like that is such a huge fucking rabbit hole. I haven't even touched it. I don't know anything about it. I use a normal shitty. Well, not shitty. So the razor I use is this is the first thing I got spite funded. It was from you guys. It is made out of a hippo's tooth, and the reason I got the idea to do this is because there was someone who came on me. Those cum gutters, man. I finally figured out why they're called cum gutters. Here is some of my Trump bucks. Get yourself a nice coffee or heathen tea. Can I get Kool-Aid with it? Kool-Aid liquid. That's what I like. But thank you, Adam. That's very nice of you. Someone came at me on Twitter out of nowhere. It was a complete non sequitur. Use for new soap, brushes, or blades. Yes, sir. I will. I will absolutely will do that. Someone came at me on Twitter out of nowhere. It was totally gratuitous, and because they were long in the tooth, I had my eye on this, and I'm like, I'm not. I mean, I'm a zoology person. I'm like a having House of Horrors kind of things and just weird cool stuff, and I'm like, I want this. I forget how much. I think it's like $300, and I'm like, all right, bitch, like, you're just gonna be a source for people to pay for this for me, and you guys chipped in, spite funded. This is a hippo's tooth. I'm guessing the bottom tooth, I don't know. And there's a razor on top. So that's the razor I use. This is just a Mach 3 razor. I'm getting a new one to use with a Harry's razor made out of a whale's tooth, which is of dubious legality, so we're not really going to get into that. The other thing that's fun with wet shaving is the brushes. Okay? I have 11. I spite funded a fuck ton. I'll put them up on Instagram eventually after I'm done putting up all my jeans. This is one of the ones I like. So there's a lot of these little indie artisans. You see them on Etsy, you see them on Instagram. It's just some dude with like a lathe in his house. You don't use a fancy straight razor. No. No. I can't handle it, Charlie. So it sounds like I'm saying that like sarcastically. That's his name. Sorry, Charlie. This is one of my. They're all like I like them all. Like at this point, I have so many. I'd get rid of one if I didn't like it because I could use the counter space. I just ordered a shelf that I'm gonna glue that sticks to the wall, so I can display them real nicely. And this one is from an artisan called Turtle Ship. They are found on Long Island, and I bought this like the day it came out. It was the only one. And if you look, I think you can see. It's made of resin, but it's got seaweed floating in there and a seashell and sand, and it's got the colors. It looks like the beach. It's very whimsical, very Willy Wonka, which is totally up my alley, as you guys know. And it's so cheerful and bright. It makes me happy. Love your thinking. Thank you for introducing me to Tom Woods, the very failed podcaster, and Dave Smith. Oh God, aren't they the best? Aren't they the best? Yeah. So this is fun. I say this all the time. I love being able to promote and support some guy in his house or some girl in her house making cool stuff for a reasonable price and telling people about it. And like no one knows about it. It's just so fun to be that kind of evangelist. So there's the other. So not only are there different types of handles, and the thing that's really big is there's all these handles made out of resin, and I don't like those as a rule. This one I like because it's clear and it's got like a little story inside, but they have these different colored resins. Often they're very expensive. I feel like if I'm paying money for the material, it better not be fucking plastic. The other issue with brushes, this is where you can get totally autistic screeching, is the brush itself. You know, you have the handle and you have the head. So these are the kinds. The most common now are synthetics, and the synthetics come in many different color combinations. That's not true. They don't come in that many color combinations. They come in very few. Hey Chris, thank you very much. But what this one is mimicking, this is a synthetic. It's mimicking badger. So badger is the hair historically and of choice, and within badger, there's different kinds of badger. There's blah, 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 and then there's SHD, and I don't know. The best is silver tip or ultra silver tip. I don't know. So this is trying to replicate what that badger brush would look like. The other types of hair that are used is boar, which is boar bristles, also horse, and I think that's the list. No, that's the list. I have one of every. As a good collector, I have horse and I have boar and I have a bunch of badgers and I have a bunch of synthetics in different colors and so on and so forth. But so this is the one I just picked off the counter. Do you use safety razors? No, I use this. This is what I use. It's just a Mach 3. It's totally an embarrassment to the wet shaving community, and I've no guilt. So it's so here's what is fun about wet shaving. So the part of the hobby that I like, I used to hate why is it getting blurry? I used to hate shaving. I thought it was painful. I thought it was annoying. It really bothered me, like a lot, and it was a part of my day I did not enjoy. Now it's fun because it's a ritual, okay? And I'm sure you guys have lots of little rituals that you guys do, like walking the dog, like you take a certain route, and that's something you do every day, and it's really fun because, oh, you know this one tree that the dog likes or something. Or I don't know, whatever it is, or like you're making your morning coffee, right? That's a very easy ritual that brings people joy. It's not just physically the coffee, it's that you're putting it in the thing and the water, and I don't know how to make coffee, whatever. I'm not, this is something like that. So what now you can look forward to after you leave the shower, you have a nice little treat for yourself. So the question is, which shaving soaps do you get? Okay. I've tried over 200 of them, and thanks to the crowd, this is all Spite funded. They're usually not expensive. Some are expensive because some are collectible. Don't get me started on that. And the question is, okay, how did I get down this rabbit hole? I have a very good friend named Cole Stryker, who I adore. And I was staying at his house to do Rogan and Reubens. This was not for the new right. This was from before. And I said, hey, do you have any shaving cream? Now, Cole is even more of a hipster than me. Cole has the pearl button snap shirts. Like, he's got the music from 1981 that I have Ça Plane Pour Moi by Plastic Bertrand. He's got the cover, the no wave cover. So, like, he's one step above me with that stuff, and I'm really kind of impressed with him. I know why the camera goes blurry. This is really weird. This is a very fancy camera that Randy sent me. And he comes into the bathroom, the guest bathroom, with a smirk on his face, and he's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I go, what is that? He's like, oh, it's wet shaving. And he hands me this Prorezo. This is something you may have seen at the store, or I'm just checking why it's blurry. It's not blurry on the OBS. That's interesting. It's blurry on YouTube. Okay. This is something you can find in many such places. It's not uncommon. Probably, maybe not a Target, but we have something called Ricky's here, or we did. I don't know if it's out of business. You probably have something similar. I'm sure Walmart would probably have this. It's under $10 on eBay, worst case scenario. Okay? This one's Italian. So why I hold this up is I can say with 95% confidence that you will like this even though I don't know you. It's got a little bit of medicinal smell. It's a little old school. What's cool about this, and many of them, they're mentholated. So there's light mentholated, then there's the ones where like cryogen, which is like meant to be physically painful almost. It's really, really fun to go down that rabbit hole, which I have at length. By the way, every soap I've tried, it's on Instagram.com/shaving soaps. You can go see them all. So you open it up. It smells nice. This is what it looks like inside. This is a much softer one than most. Okay? Don't get the other colors. Just get Prorezo green. The other colors aren't good. So all you do is you take your shaving brush, and then you take your water. You get the brush wet. And then you put it in the thing, and you swirl it around, and you get a nice little lather going. Okay? This is not enough. Sometimes you need more water, sometimes you need less. The thing is, when you first start, you're going to use not enough. Remember, it's called wet shaving. So it's going to get a nice little foam going. Here we go. Right? The brush is loaded. And you could just paint your face. The way I do it is I paint it until it's completely opaque. I don't want to see any skin underneath. By the way, if there's a soap that looks interesting to you, because most of these are by artisans that you can't really this blurry camera. Most of these are from artisans that you can't really smell their product because it's just going to be one guy. And there's lots of videos of dudes who are like try out these soaps for you, and they're all they're creepy and disturbing. And there's this one guy, Ruds, Ruds, if you look him up, and he never has any affect. And he's like, this soap has notes of vetiver, oak moss, and patchouli. It's definitely a fall scent. It's mid-strength on the puck, strong when lathered. I like it. And you're like, oh my God, you're clearly a murderer. So he's like big in the shaving community. So you get it going. You paint your face. Keep going over here until it's nice and thick, right? So again, opaque is what you want. You want it to be see-through. That's another thing that they try for. Like some of them are like, like the lather's too thin. Some were like the lather's amazing. You take your razor, just like every regular shaving. You shave, get down underneath. I do it twice. The second pass is going to be much smoother. You go with the grain. And then you just, some of them, with the menthol ones, your face will tingle after. And there's some that use an ingredient that is used in like vape pens that will make your skin sparkle, since the sensations like pops of cold for like a good hour. It's really, really fun. So that's really much all there is to it, but I can't even begin to tell you how much you will enjoy doing this instead of your shitty shaving that you do now, because there's so much to explore. You want to look into razors, you want to look into different soaps, you want to look into different brushes. It's a real fun thing. So yeah, I don't really have much else to say, but this is something I went on my malice.locals.com. I said, do you guys want me to talk about this? And they said yes, so that's it. Again, my review one is called instagram.com/shaving soaps, and there's like 200 there. And if you want to tweet questions at me, I'll be glad to answer them. The camera can't tell your Russian skin and Russian wall apart. Oh God, I wish I could go tanning. Can you recommend a book that's a relatively easy read that had a big impact on you? Sure. The Myth of Sisyphus is an easy one. Big impact. Short book with a big impact. I mean, can't think of that many short books I've read, because most books I would say are medium length. That's probably the best answer I have off the top of my head. There aren't that many, because I guess that's my answer. I can't think of anything else that would be fall under that. However you pronounce that word, 1984. I don't know if that's had a big impact, but it certainly explains, I think, contemporary culture a lot better than Brave New World. I'm sorry, Brave New World explains our culture better than 1984. So yeah, this is the wet shaving. I'm going to get this, and then you have to have a thing where you like hang it upside down. I'll rinse this out in the bathroom later. It's fine. It's not a big deal. If you aren't great at economics one lesson. That is a good answer. That is a good answer. I have a book from Ludwig von Mises signed to Hazlitt, and I have Hazlitt's copy of his novel. That's right, Hazlitt wrote a novel, and it's not good. You just had me flashback to some like play school toy shaving set I had when I was little. I had the brush and soap and everything. I loved it. Check this shit out. Go back and buy the toys you had as a kid, and they'll bring you joy as an adult. This is not the same one I bought on eBay. This is the CNC. These animal noises are not accurate, but they're there. Let's try it. This is, 30 years old? Oh, it's the parrot. And you can cheat and turn it to the one you want, because the zebra, right? Let's go the zebra. Oh, let's go the panda. What does the panda do?
Say hi to the panda bear.
I don't know what that is. So yeah. So go back and get that toy kit. It'll be so fun. I'm sure it's on eBay. and you'll enjoy it. And every time you look at it, it'll be a little bit of joy, or maybe not. That's just how I operate. But I'm not the norm. But that's why people like me, apparently. Okay. So that is that with the live shaving. I also want to talk about how I should have closed this. It's wet. What else did I want to talk to you guys about? That was kind of my biggest one. I said I'd be doing these more frequently to help people not stay so isolated. I think it's important to do as much of this outreach as you can. I've really been enjoying the convos with Dave Smith. He's a bro. We've been having a lot of fun. I also am now realizing, and this is again, I should. You made my Biden tweet go wide. Good. No, you did, Greg. You made it go wide. I just retweeted it. You take the credit. Sorry to be annoying about this, but did you end up looking to Duncan Lemp? Yeah. So what I'm saying is, if you watch the episode of me and Dave Smith today, we end saying we're both going to do full episodes about him. This weekend, I guess that was you, Anchor, who tweeted last time. So this week, shout out to the Fighting Mongooses. So this weekend on Sunday, I think it's going to be, I'm going to do a live stream about him. And that one I'm not going to put to unlisted, so people can spread and share that, and I hope I'm going to be able to do it justice. And one of the other things that me and Dave talked about, I think it's on, I don't remember if it's on his show or my show, I'm sorry at this point, was how if you, or if you, I don't mean you individually, I mean this applies to me as well. If you're trying to get the attention of someone who, like a literary agent is a perfect example, who has a lot of people whose attention, who are trying to get their attention, there are techniques to use. And one of the ways to guarantee not to do that is yelling at them on Twitter, which is what had happened when his name came across my desk and Dave's desk. And it's like, you should be, anytime someone tells me you should, I mean, I can't tell you how quickly I run in the other direction. It's something I am very viscerally against. But then because you super chatted, you're like, hey, look into this. I'm like, okay, this guy is fucking giving me cash and thinks this is important. I will look into it. And I did. And I'm like, oh, this is a case where it's something that I should be talking about it. And I'm more than happy, and not more than happy, I'm thrilled that I'm in a position. I'm thrilled that I'm positioned to talk about this. I'm not at all thrilled at the story. I mean, let's just be clear. So, yeah, so that will be, I believe, this Sunday. I'll put it up on my locals, malice.locals.com, when I'm going to be doing it. And then by next week, we'll be having some more of these streams with other people joining me as well. Maybe Kurt Schlichter will pop on, or a few of my other partners in crime, so to speak. So I think that'll be fun for a lot of people to have it even more of a kind of a hang. Because I think when we did the Quiplash with me and Tom Woods and Dave Smith and two other people who aren't important, everyone seemed to have a really fun time with the game. So yeah, that's what we're going to start doing. And it's fun for me to kind of check in with people and you know, kind of, you guys can see what we're like off screen, and it's very similar to what we're like. I mean, like when we're relaxed, we're still gonna be on screen, obviously. So I haven't even asked Kurt, but I'm sure that's gonna be a no-brainer. Yeah. So that's that. What else did I want to cover? I didn't really have that much else other than this wet shaving, and I promised to do this more often so people would, you know, kind of have a chance to interact and have things to do. Hold on, let me get some more water. I basically have it down so my office I can be an invalid and not have to move. And you can see in arm's length I have a fucking toy from 1983. But that's how we roll in our wheelchair. I think I'm going to go with the grape. All right. Good times with you in Phoenix. Hey, Steven. Hey, man. Good to see you. Oh, I just finished Dave Reubens' book. I'm going to have him on. You're welcome on the 20... It's going to air on the 28th. We're taping it next Friday. There will be a lot to discuss in there. It was really interesting to read, and I can't wait to pick his brain about it. It comes out that day. It comes out the 28th of April, which was my dead grandfather's birthday. So that was kind of weird. But what are you gonna do? Mm. Um, what else can we chat about? Oh God, I mean, a lot of people are jokingly hoping that Kamala Harris is the vice presidential nominee, and that's not funny. Like Trump posted a return to work thing 30 minutes ago. He killed 25,000 people already by not taking it seriously. Now more by sending them back to work. Yeah, I had this tweet and I said, no matter when the country's reopened, people are gonna die after that, and because human beings, by and large, don't understand trade offs, they're going to say, look, all these people are dead because of Trump, and there's never going to be a right time for him. Like, he can't win. Did you end up watching the Moldbug interview? No, it is on my iPod right now, and I've been watching video games and vegging out. So I watched Control, I watched Control Foundation, I'm reading my books. The beautiful thing about working at Compound Rehab from Monday through Thursday is once I'm home on Thursday, I've got 3 days to kind of relax and watch stuff. I'm not big on watching interviews because I'm a talker, so I would rather engage. So, and it's so long. I've never sat through like a podcast. It's not my personality. Why does the mainstream media in Hollywood hate blonde men? Blonde men are being replaced, and we always play the a-hole and abuser. I don't. I mean, what about fucking Thor? What's that guy's name? He's in a lot of stuff, isn't he? Who's the blonde guy? Who's the bad guy? I don't know that that's the case. Hulk Hogan is a good. Your Avatar. He's a good guy. Who's? I don't think it's blonde man. Aren't they usually dark haired and kind of swarthy? I feel like that's a thing. Have you seen hypernormalization? I don't know what that is. I've never heard of it. Let's check it out. Let's check it out right now. Let's Google it. Huh, that's interesting. This is really interesting. What's this? Let me see. This looks like it's right up my alley. Oh, wow. Hmm. This sounds like it's a Matrix thing. Um, would you be open to making a live stream where you could talk it out with us, the plebs? Making what a main live stream, Zach? I don't understand. You could talk it out with us, the pleb. What are you referring to? I'm sorry, I don't know. What that means. Um, oh, you mean like me watching the Moldbug interview with you guys? Oh, like a watch along? Would that be fun? I gotta figure out. No, we could just watch it simultaneously. I could have headphones on, right? Oh, Michael Malice's movie club. Would that be fun for people? Like we watch a video together for like an hour? We are on sound like on a Zoom grid chat. I don't know that that's fun. Oh, that's a great idea. Let's do that. Let's do that. Oh my god, that's such a good idea. Like we could all be watching the movie together and I'm talking and you guys can be chatting in or whatever. Oh my god, that's such a good idea. Let me. Oh fuck, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you are so smart, Zach. That is so fun. Yes, take my money. Take my money. Oh, that is such a you know we can okay. So, this is either really that would be super fun movie TV. This is really um um would it be of interest, and I can see how this would be of a lot of interest, or how this would be of no interest and get over yourself. And I want the response because I do not know from your perspective, because this is not the kind of thing that's interesting to me from either level. What is your favorite underrated musician slash band? Oh, that's easy. Aha. That's this. Right here. Right here. They are easily the most underrated band of the 80s. Not even close. People just think of them for that one song. They are superb. Yeah. So would it be of interest for me to watch like an episode of Reuben together, or watch an episode of me on Rogan together and do a kind of an audio commentary that way. I can't tell if that is something people would like. That's thanks, dude. You're sick. The watch along sounds horrible. Thanks, dude. You're sick. Wait, the watch along sounds horrible. I don't understand. I don't understand what you're saying. Are you saying that? Thank you, Andrew. Oi, governor. Am I sick like you mean disease? Or I'm sick and you mean I'm awesome? But if I'm awesome, why would the watch along sound horrible? I don't know what's happening. I'm sorry. I'm confused. So I'll put in my locals. If people would be interested in that, or not. That's such a good idea. I mean, it's got to be something that's on YouTube. That I think a lot of people would enjoy, because this is kind of what Zach does. Zach Amico, who I adore, he has his Zach's. Or we could be watching Select the Found. Oh, this is such a fun idea. Can we watch you watch Part of the Problem with Michael Malice? Is that really what you'd want? It would be cool, especially pausing and adding to what you said, dive deeper, like the early Joe Rogan. It would be like watching. See, I'm a liar. As soon as I said it, I've watched movies that I like with director's commentary. A lot of the times. Yeah, okay. Done. God, it's gonna be like 3 hours though. Movie would be better. Okay, we have to figure out a movie that's on YouTube or Vimeo or something. So how you would have it, but are you watching? We'll figure out how to do that. I can't stream it on here, so we're kind of. I'd have to have two screens, split screens, to have the chats and then the movie. We can figure that out. What would be a good movie? Well, I know what we're gonna watch. You ready? I know what we're gonna watch. I know exactly what we're gonna watch. We're gonna watch fucking Willy Wonka, the Johnny Depp movie. I'm sure we could find it online. We'll watch the Johnny Depp movie. Yeah. You'll watch Willy Wonka with me. That's perfect. I love that movie. Oh my God, what a fun idea. Is it? Thank you. You are welcome. Let me see if it's on I'm sure I could I want everyone to be able to get it for free. I think movies would be more fun, but doing long interviews would be fun too. There's synced YouTube apps and websites. Okay. That's. Yeah. I'll just put the headphones on. Everyone can download it and whatever, and we could figure it out how to watch it. I think that's the movie to watch though. Maybe it's on Vimeo. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory watch. It's on YouTube for $4. That's stupid. Let's see. Is this a bootleg on Vudu? Oh, it's $4 there too. They trick you. That's how they get you. This movie Clips. Daily Motion. Okay, we'll figure it out. I think that's a good one. You can do. I'm in, motherfucker. Hell yeah. Okay. You can do chats on your phone on another device. I don't know how I can do. I don't know how I can do that. What I mean is, only you can pause, skip ahead. Our streams are all synced. Okay. They're synced. Okay, yeah, I got you. So okay, we'll figure out how to do that. That sounds awesome. Where can I purchase my golden ticket? You can't purchase the golden ticket, Zach. You have to find it. Movies would be better in my opinion, but I would enjoy watching Joe Rogan or the Reubens Report or anything of interest on YouTube would be great as well. Yeah, this is such a fun hang if we're watching silly movies together. I'll get some kind of dopey hat and popcorn. Well, I can't have popcorn on the regimen, but you know what I mean. What a great idea. The thing with Reubens, though, if I did, like, those interviews, I didn't really go in. Well, no, you guys can ask me questions about what you're seeing. Yeah. What a fun yeah, because then like I'm watching, we're all watching it together, and then you ask me a question like, "Hey, what do you mean by this?" or "Can you give me an example?" Okay, let's just do that. I propose watching subtitled Old Boy. I don't know what that is. Old Boy. What is this kind of French thing? Old Boy. What is this? What is this? It's Korean. Oh God. And not the good one. I am interested in your take on the Spaniard that lives in DPRK that recently went on to 60 Minutes. Why would they allow a foreigner to represent them on TV, let alone live there? Supposedly other expats live there. There's lots of reasons. One is tourism is one of their few revenue streams, especially as the sanctions have hit. I haven't seen the Spaniard. There's one who's a Russian guy, Garrett from Compound Rehab, showed it to me. He snuck in apparently, or says he snuck in, and he did like 2 hours. That's on YouTube as well. I can even tell you the link. Let me give you the link right now. There's 2 videos on his channel, and it got pretty. Here we go. Copy link location. This is the North Korea. Here we go. Expats, it depends on the circumstances. Like a lot of North Koreans now, they're trying to do businesses with other countries. So like they have these kind of weird connections that they don't really talk about. Oh my God, you haven't seen Old Boy. I don't like movies as a rule, and foreign movies is an even bigger rule. We could also watch Party Girl. Is that on YouTube? That's one of my favorite movies, and it's about New York in the early 90s, and it's with Parker Posey. Oh, The House of Yes, my favorite comedy. Fuck. These are such good ideas. Okay, this says it's on YouTube. Is it on YouTube? I'll figure it out. No, it's fake. They trick you. This is how they get you. Oh, I know we're going to watch. We can watch Ayn Rand on Donahue. That's what we can do. Yes, we'll watch Ayn Rand on Donahue. There's 2 of them, and they're both like 45 minutes. Hi from Australia, Michael. I can see why your smile's upside down. I would love to hear you talk about your family and stuff you did together growing up. Well, there's a whole book about that, Ego and Hubris. It goes for $100 now in the aftermarket. I don't really, it wasn't really that fun stuff to talk about. I mean, if there's something more specific, but family I don't like talking about for many, 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 many reasons. Okay. Oh my God, that is so funny. That is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to watch the Ayn Rand thing. Okay, I can do this for another like 10 or so minutes. Then I'm gonna bounce. Yeah. This is so. Oh my God, this is such a good idea. Because I don't. If you guys haven't seen the Rand on Donahue, they're a treat. Because she is out of her mind. And it's a train wreck both times. And you're sitting there, and she's being asked about the Illuminati. And she says that she likes Charlie's Angels because it's not about the half-wit retard children. Her words. So you're sitting there, you're like, holy shit, this is amazing. That is such... Oh, my God. Or we could also watch shitty videos and make fun of the people. Like, I'm sure there's episodes of certain shows that are like, just, this guest is absolutely horrible. Like, what was her name? Didn't everyone hate, what was her name on Rogan? That girl from the New York Times? I think a lot of people hated that as her. Gary, I'm blanking on her name. That would be fun. Old Boy's amazing, and South Korean Japanese movies are legitimately great. That's cool. Can you do it dressed as Rand in that interview? Oh no. Oh no. No. We're not doing that. We're not. They're not putting me in the dress she was buried in again. Those days are over. You could also do speeches of Buchanan's Culture War. This is such Mystery Science 3 at 3000. This is such a good idea, Zach. Rand on Donahue is based Rand. Oh yeah, she was based. They are the real villains in the picture. It's in the universities that the misrepresentations of capitalism start. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna have movie night with Michael Malice. So I can even do I really want to do this Duncan Lamp stream. I'll do that Sunday. So starting next week, we could do this maybe Friday. We could do this every week. This is gonna be such. I know this is such a fun. It's like friends hanging out and watching the same shit. Get your popcorn, get your whatever. We're all watching the same thing. It's dopey fun. Okay, I really like this a lot. I really like this idea a lot, Zach. So I'm all in, and it's I don't have to worry about having things to talk about. You guys don't have to worry about anything, and you could just sit and laugh, and it'll be a real treat. So yeah. Okay, I'm so sold. My head's spinning right now, with ideas. Yeah. Okay. Um. Yeah, she was on. Hey, Michael, I feel really bad about this question, but I have to bring it up. What do you see in Dave Rubin? Isn't he a perfect example of a person with no mind? No, I don't think he's a perfect example of a person with no mind. I'll give you proof that I'm not talking out of my ass. One of the things that are used as means of dominance and trying to kind of flout authority is how you refer to someone. And this is done in a very ham-fisted way online when they'll call him Obama or Killary or Drumpf or Trump with the R's capitalized. And it's kind of like, oh, I'm not using your name you want to be known by, so I'm not validating you. I'm disrespecting you. And there's some historically in like magic, that's a thing. Someone's, like Rumpelstiltskin, someone's real name, you have power over them. Dummycrats. It's really cringe. It's like probably the most common cringe thing, but is really a thing. In the same way, in the corporate America, it's the same thing too. When someone gives someone else a nickname, it's also like you're putting them. You're. It's a dominance move. Although they might not think about it, it still is. He calls me the Willy Wonka of politics. I like that. I wouldn't allow someone I didn't respect to name me. So that is your. Before I finish your longer answer, that is your evidence that I do have actual respect for him, and this isn't me just like, oh, I'm on his show, so I have to be nice. I think Dave, I think he is genuinely intellectually curious. I think he is genuinely fascinated by thinkers, which is rare. I think he is. I don't think a person with no mind finds me of interest. I think people with no minds find me off-putting, or they don't know what to make of me, but they don't want to. They don't need to know more. I've seen what I need to know. Is that kind of approach? He's also on a friendship level. Since I've done his show recently, we've become pals. But I don't see. I don't feel he gets. I'm gonna ask him about this when he's on my show. He gets criticized by not being antagonistic enough with his. At least this is what my perception of criticism is. I haven't, like, why do people not like Rubin? He gets criticized for not being antagonistic enough with his guests. That's just a different style of interview show. Like, I've gotten criticized by the New Right because it's kind of a meandering through line, and I'm like, it says journey in the subtitle. It's not a straight path. The whole point is it's supposed to be kind of weaving because you're traveling through a place. You're not going through a straight line. There's going to be all sorts of angles, and that's a choice. Now, you might say it would have been more effective the other way, but it's not invalid inherently. So I don't see that criticism at all. And I do think loyalty for me goes a long way. And when someone has your back and respects you, sure, that's ego talking. But at the same time, I think it's a lot easier for people not to champion me than to do so. Because I'm not some kind of, talking points conservative or liberal. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, Greg, hold on. Barry Weiss. Oh, yeah, that's her name. If you are doing terrible interviews, then do any Thad talking about postmodernism. Well, that was on my show. I think I handled him pretty well. Is no respect why Woods can't call you Weasel anymore? He stopped calling me Weasel. We had a conversation about this because a lot of the fans picked up on it because people often have this misconception that if Tom can call me something that like strangers can, and Tom can call me whatever he wants. I mean, we're good pals. But if I don't know you and you're calling me a weasel, it's like, who the fuck are you? And then he goes, and we also was like, you know what? That's not how what you are. It has very nefarious connotations. So he's like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. The other thing, the inverse, calling him a very failed podcaster, the expression is inherently absurd. Because what does that even mean to fail as a podcaster? Okay, you have a podcast that no one listens to. Who cares? That happens every day. It doesn't not reflects on some other person. And then very failed. What does that even mean? So, and because Tom's podcast is so successful, not only is the expression inherently absurd, it's also and incoherent. It's also completely inaccurate in this context. So that's what happened there. Yeah. Okay. Man, you guys are really on top of shit, man. There's some of you on Twitter, you just blow me away. Like you were just like so many of the tweets. I'm like, wow, I'm so impressed. Someone today, Austin, his name is Austin. I forget his last name. He said when people tell him to vote, he says, "Oh, I don't vote because I'm not informed," and then they don't know what to do. It's beautiful. Will the press stop Corona coverage on November 4th? Hey, what happened to the Kurds? Remember we're going to have genocide? New Holocaust? Remember that? That if we're not boots on the ground in Syria tomorrow, that they're all going to be wiped out? Hey, remember, I'm a little older than most of you, but remember Greece was going to go bankrupt? And then Greece was refusing to pay back the EU? And they elected a hard left government on the premise of we're not going to pay back these loans. Fuck you, EU. What happened there? I don't know. Stop talking about it. They do this all the time. And then you sit and you're like, oh, one of the best examples of this was during Bush. They had this woman, Cindy Sheehan, on during the George W. Bush presidency. And her son died in Iraq in military. And every day, this war mom is on TV. Bush is the devil, Bush is the devil, Bush is the devil. There are many, 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 unfortunately, this is one of the horrors of the Bush years, many parents who lost their children in the Iraq War, Americans. She's the only one who's on TV. Her only credential is that her son died. One of thousands. And then Obama's in office, bitch can't get fucking an Uber. They do this all the time. And that's the difference between a bias and agenda. You think Greta Thunberg is going to be around when she comes of age? When she's like 20? That they're going to put her front and center? Yeah. Not at all. So there. This happens constantly. And the beauty of social media is you can put something up and you're like, hey, remember this? What happened there? And blue pill people are like, oh, that's odd. And then red people are like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is part of their larger pattern. This keeps happening. Like they will tell you with a straight face and with cause, this is the most important thing happening right now. Why aren't we talking about this? You need to be talking about this. Okay? And then 6 months later, what? What's up? Oh yeah, we're not talking about that anymore. The worst was putting Cindy outside his house. I don't know what you mean there, Elliot. I still can't find anything new on Hong Kong. Is this the same phenomenon? Ya tu sabe. You know it. Elon Musk dunked on CNN. They got 4 likes. He got 180,000. I just tweeted out right before I started this stream. Yeah, sometimes, no matter... Here's the other thing. I was way wrong about this coronavirus thing. And 2 people were like, hey, remember when you were way wrong about the coronavirus thing? And I'm like, yeah. Smart people are wrong a lot. Stupid people are right a lot. It's only stupid people who think smart people are never wrong. That is not how knowledge and information works. And there's no shame in being wrong. You get more data and you try to improve. And what was I saying about this? Oh yeah, so sometimes I'll have these realizations and I'm like, oh shit. And I just tweeted out right before this live stream, I go, I just realized, because when you're having empathy, you're trying to understand things from other people's perspective, right? It's hard for me to empathize entirely with corporate journalists because they're so depraved and malevolent. And I'm like, oh shit, they think that when Trump goes away, that everyone hates them because it's only Trump who hates them, or Trump is making Americans hate them. And once they're rid of him, we're going to go back to Americans being like, oh, these people aren't so bad. And there's some truth to that, but not a lot. Because I think it's getting worse and worse. The genie's at the bottle, and the level of hatred and vitriol toward them is increasing, and I'm doing my part to foster that. And I put this poll on Twitter. And whenever I run a poll, unless I'm fucking with someone as a reply to their tweet, it's a question I don't know the answer to, or it's actually a tough question for me. And I said, what would you rather have? Chosen at random. 9 Democratic senators or 9 New York Times journalists? And this, why I like that question is whether you're on the left or the right, the question applies to you. And 3-1. And I know a lot of my readers are not fans of the Democratic Party. Let's be serious. 3-1, they preferred the Democratic senators. And I'm like, fuck yeah, they get it. Because it's so much worse, the people who are the jihadis at the Times, than even some, hack like Dianne Feinstein or I'm just blanking, or Angus King. Angus King, senator from Maine, independent. Is he really that bad? As opposed to the shit that comes out of the New York Times that America started in 1619 when slavery started. He's not saying that shit. So Elon Musk, that's the same thing. Like, they have no concept of how much they're hated. And look at these numbers. 4,000 to 108,000. Now, a lot of it's going to be the Streisand effect. Well, I'm not using that term correctly, but like, oh my God, Elon Musk is going ham with CNN. It's just like there's a shock value to it. But that is, orders of magnitude. Have you seen the documentary They Live? Might be a good one for movie night. Also, when are you getting Moldbug on? Jimmy Dore, love the work. Okay, let's go through those questions. I don't think I've ever seen They Live. Although I'm familiar with it. Moldbug has an open invite next time he's in New York. We're pals. Jimmy Dore, I was going to fly to LA. I was going to crowdfund a flight to LA to do it. I want to do that one in person. So that'll happen ASAP. Anderson Cooper wouldn't acknowledge Taiwan as an independent country to NTV. I have video of it on my Twitter. I'm without speech. I've been fighting for a very long time to show people just how it's so much worse. If it was just, I throw this on Twitter all the time. If it was just, oh, we all vote Democrat. I live in New York. Most of my friends probably vote Democrat. I have a great crew. And my acquaintances too, they all vote Democrat. They're great people. Like, if guns ahead, if they were my senator, I'd be fine with it. You know what I mean? If they were mayor, I'd be fine with it. It is so much worse, the people who are in these corporate organizations in this. And the fact that the right is understanding this, and segments of the left, is just glorious. How do you break someone out of the cathedral? Trevor, for me, the cost benefit is not there. I don't try that. I would suggest it would depend on what they are most invested in. These people have been trained since they were kindergartners to think a certain way. A lot of them do not have the capacity or interest to think a different way. I do not have good advice for you. I can I don't know. What issue is? I don't know. I'm sorry. I have no advice. Find Nancy Pelosi's Let Them Eat Cake clip. Oh yeah, that was on that's what else is I love. Fan of Tim Pool, absolutely. He's been on my show, I've been on his. I was supposed to be on his show the last week in March. I was going to take a road trip to Philly, but obviously that didn't end up happening. I'm going to do that the second we can. I love Philadelphia. Love it. Fine. So James Corden, I think is his name is, yeah, the guy on CBS. When I was growing up, you would not have, or Drag Race, they had Pelosi on, they had AOC, you would not have this brazen partisan politicking. And I think it's interesting because it's like, even blue pill people be like, oh, they're just being partisan. And even that obscures the level of the malevolence and depravity. But the fact that it's a given that you should be supporting Pelosi, this is a relatively recent phenomenon. It might be a given to hate George Bush, but to only have these kind of Democratic Party leaders front and center, this is recent. So that is that. Okay, I got 5 more minutes of this. I hope that guys, thank you so much, um, for the idea. What could stop the left ascendancy in the West? It's being stopped right now. It is being stopped. Brexit, Trump, all over the world. Like people are like, what is this bullshit? You have the lowest. Boris Johnson is not exactly some Reagan, and you have labor at, and I know it's partly Corbyn, but labor at their lowest levels since before World War II. I mean, this is Trump's president, and the level of animosity in America towards the bad parts of the left. There's a lot of the left that I adore and have done great things, but it's not the left that's the issue. It's this kind of international, cultural corporate need for world domination that is the problem. How many people do you estimate have died since Katie Tour's show? Oh my God, can you believe that shit? Can you believe the stuff that comes out of these people's mouth? For those who don't know, look at my tweet. Katie Tour, who's the one who has the firefighter comment about reporters, that reporters like firefighters rushing to a fire. It's like, yeah, keep running. She had this tweet. She goes, Trump had a press conference yesterday. Since then, 3,000 people died. Okay. Great. Here's two. They have these two non sequiturs, and they present it as if one's a correlate of the other. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And they think they're bright. They think they're absolutely bright. Think Trump will win re-election. I do. I do think he will. It depends. Unless they pull a switch and put Hillary in, then he's going to be in a bit of trouble. A bit. I think Biden... But anyone who tells you, the same people, you heard 2016, Hillary can't lose. And she lost. Trump can't lose. In a binary political system, both candidates have a chance. Get it through your heads. So don't be binary thinkers. That's how binary thinkers think. It's either definitely or definitely not. That's not how reality works. The corporate press is so nefarious, they will use the Democratic Party, correct, or whichever party they can get their hands on, do their bidding. Then they wash their hands like Pilate saying they didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. Nail on the head. Okay. God, this has been so fun. I hope it's been fun for you guys. We've got 400 people here. The Duncan Lem thing is not going to be fun, but I think, and I hate using this word, I think it's important for me to get that story more oxygen. I know it's going to be of interest to a lot of you. Given the right conversation, could AOC be put on a better path? She hates most of the alphabet agencies already. AOC is just catnip for boomers. I mean, that's really it. They want us dead broke, kids ravished and brainwashed, but are they really laughing about it? That's too much to believe. Go on Twitter. Oh, they're laughing hysterically. Oh my God! Did you see that? Then when Boris Johnson was in the hospital. Oh yeah. Well, they don't really laugh because they don't have a sense of humor. Paul, it's all over. It is all. What about when Rick Wilson was just on with Don Lemon, and that the other guy talking about how Trump voters can't fund Ukraine? Oh, they think it's hilarious. But they think it's hilarious, and for them a laughter is like a sign of contempt. It's like ha 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 ha. Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. It's more like this. Yeah, it's just really amazing people. Okay, and AOC Bernie aren't no Goldman Berkman. That is true. Although I do have a signed Emma Goldman book in my living room, thanks to you guys. I'm gonna get a signed Berkman at some point. Okay, we got 400 people here. I am going to bounce. I will see you on social media. I'll see you. Never let a crisis go to waste. Oh yeah. Do leftists think economics is just shilling for rich people? I don't think they think about economics. I think they think it'll work itself out. They don't think in those terms. I will see you on malice.locals.com. Please come join us. There's a lot of us there. It's like 2,000, I think, at this point. And there's been no drama, no name calling. Everyone's cool. A live stream over the weekend. Zach, you're a genius. I'm going to definitely start doing those. It'll be so much more fun to watch these videos together. It's such a good idea. Thank you all for the support. It really is. Let me just check quickly. It really is. I can't do this shit without you guys. Oh wait, someone sent cash. Hold on. This is from before. Let me just read it. I'll put it on Twitter. Yeah, and I'll see you over the weekend. I hope this is fun. I'm getting such a positive response from you guys that it's really kind of rewarding. So have a great weekend. I hope you're having fun. I got my scented candles here. I got my shaving brush. I got my crew. I'm sitting, if not pretty, at least not as ugly as possible. And I'll talk to you guys soon. So see you online.